Okay. I just pictured someone with like those like grow your own herb things you can buy from IKEA in their kitchen.
Oh, no.
Just like squatting like a dog.
Hello.
I didn't clap.
Welcome to episode DYD, baby.
I told her not to do that.
Can't cut me out.
So for those of you who don't know, this is sometimes Ciabatta slaps, and DYD stands for dulling yourself down, which is the topic of this episode.
Listen, are you embarrassed? Do I embarrass you?
No.
It's the hesitancy for me.
There's our thumbnail right there.
So I'm Mac.
And I'm Jubes.
And yes, this is sometimes Ciabatta slaps.
Welcome back.
How you doing?
We missed you.
Missed you so much.
All I could think about today was like, I just want to go home and record. I just want to go home and record. I just want to go home and record. I just want to be done with the day.
And it's Saturday, so cheers.
Yay.
Such
Cheers.
a good day.
This is water.
Ooh, woo.
Woo, she wild.
All right. How's your day, week, month,
My
year?
day was pretty shitty.
Oh, no.
Hey, that rhymed. Cause yeah, I woke up and I was playing with my nose ring, and then I got a bloody nose, and so I was just like sitting on the toilet with blood just like gushing from my face, and I was like, cool. And then I was like driving to work. I almost said school. I was like driving to work, and I was like, that kind of like my eyes kind of are like looking funny, like they just feel like what I'm seeing is weird, but I couldn't really like figure out what it was, and my head didn't feel like fuzzy or like dizzy, so I was like, this is really odd. And then I by the time I got to work, I couldn't see my peripheral vision out of this eye, and I was
like very migraine-y.
Yeah. And then
but, if you didn't have a headache at that time, that's weird.
I didn't have a headache at all. I was like, okay, I'm just tired, my eyes are sleepy, I just gotta wake up. And then an hour into work, it went away, but then I got a terrible headache just right here. And I was like, yep, I'm having a stroke. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. So then I went downstairs and checked my pupils because Grey's Anatomy, so I'm a doctor.
Certified doctor's assistant.
I survived. And then I took an Advil, but I wasn't full enough to take an Advil, so then I wanted to throw up.
Wow, thriving.
It was a really good day for Jubes. But that's okay, because then I came home and Michaela made me suffer.
Yes.
Yay.
I made a rainbow chicken noodle bowl.
Yeah.
And it was just very fresh vermicelli noodles and vegetables and
zoodles.
Zoodles, yes. I
Zucchini
spiralized zucchini and carrots, and it was very cute.
It was delicious. I was very thankful.
Recipes with Mac. Cooking with Mac and Jubes. If you want to see that, I got some recipes.
Yeah. But how was your day? I hope it was better.
Yeah, my day was good.
That's good.
I woke up to a text saying, hey, we might need you at work. Do you want to come in? And I said, no, not really.
So I was like, yeah.
It's my day off.
That's fair. Okay.
Other than that, lots of productive cleaning, and I switched over my bed.
Nice.
And decided that I hate the fitted sheet that I chose, so I'm gonna go back to a black fitted sheet because it looks better on my bed.
Good. Okay.
But I got some gold satin pillows, which is really good.
Ooh.
So I had black satin because my curly haired girls know that satin does wonders for tangling and stuff. And so I've sworn by satin pillowcases for years now.
Well, I think everyone says you should get a satin pillowcase just because they're so much better for your hair.
It is. I'm 10 out of 10 suggest.
Okay.
Big fan of satin pillowcases.
Okay.
And the company, even though it was an Amazon brand, so Amazon's okay. But it gave me a bonnet with it free.
Fun.
So I'll be trying that out and see if that helps my hair anymore. Because usually I just have a scrunchie and then the pillowcase.
Oh, okay. Do you sleep with a top bun? Or
no, because then it tugs.
pony?
So I do a really loose ponytail.
Oh, okay.
So that it doesn't tug on my roots.
Right.
So yeah. I'll see how that goes. It's good.
Hair tips with Mac.
Yeah. Well, when you have curly hair that's down to your ass, it's kind of, you got to take care of it.
Know how to,
you got to hydrate it. You got to trim it. You got to,
fair.
Deal with it. Because detangling, that's how I got lice. That's how I got lice. Because I had a rat's nest in the back of my head that I couldn't brush. And I had no idea it was there. My poor mother.
How do you just how does the first person get lice?
Well, for me, it was at the movie theater. Ew. I wore my hair down at the movie theater.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I managed to go my entire childhood without it. But at 17, it was like, yeah, here you go. And I'm like,
thank you.
Love that. My poor mother. She spent 4 hours going through my hair.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. No bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. I cooked. I cleaned. I did some schoolwork. And I did some podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Made some fun sounds. Check us out on TikTok and Instagram to know which sounds I'm talking about.
We filmed one tonight and it's so good.
It's so fun.
It'll totally be out by the time this episode comes out, so everyone will be like, yeah, we know, we saw it.
No, my creativity has been thriving right now and it's been so good. Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know, are they fucked from yesterday's workout?
Not at all.
Okay, 1 week back,
yeah,
my ass is rock solid.
Really?
I could not sit down without wincing all day today. I couldn't bend over to pick anything up. I couldn't, my legs were done for.
I felt a little bit in my one butt cheek. It felt like after when you do a whole bunch of deadlifts or even kettlebell swings.
Well, we did a bunch of deadlifts.
I don't remember yesterday's workout.
And my inner thighs from the sumo squats yesterday, you a sumo squat hold, cooked. They're so sore.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, I definitely have decided that I need to go a little bit harder at our workouts because I'm not absolutely dead at the end of them.
Yeah.
So that's fun for me.
I'll hold you to that.
No. No, thank you.
So good. But yeah, so thriving, doing great over here. Mm-hmm. How are you guys doing?
Hopefully better than me.
Yeah, hopefully better than Jubes.
Oh, but now I know that I get migraines, so I get them, I think, fairly often. This is the worst it's been. Because it was just weird, but it was also the least fuzzy I've felt. So I felt like I wasn't oh, I'm gonna pass out. So I was like, that's a win. That was a huge win.
It's a huge win.
I know. I couldn't even go home because someone else called in sick, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to work. Poor baby.
The joys of small business life.
Oh, I survived. I lived, and I'm here now.
And you got a fun fit.
Oh yeah, my workout clothes that I ordered a really long time ago finally came in.
Check us out on YouTube, and you can see Jubes' fit.
Yes,
it's really good.
It's so fun.
So fun, so comfy. All right, I guess we'll get into today's topic. Unless you have anything else to say for the catch-up.
Not really.
No? Alrighty. So, today's topic we've gone with is dulling yourself down. Mm-hmm. Because shit sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Sometimes life is difficult and you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
But...
And that's it. Thanks for today's episode.
And that's all we have for today. Okay, bye.
Yeah, so by dulling yourself down, I mean when you I don't know, you're with a group of friends and they're all oh yeah, I hate this about myself, I hate this about myself, blah 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 blah. You're training and you're I can't relate. Mm-hmm. I don't relate. I like my face, I'm sorry. And then they make you feel bad about being confident.
Yes.
Because not like I'm talking from personal experience or anything.
This isn't personal.
This isn't a set example in mind or anything.
Personal journal podcast. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dear diary. Yeah, no, it was something that happened to me quite a bit as a kid. I don't know why. The main comment was, "Oh yeah, Michaela's different."
Yeah.
And the biggest thing of my childhood that caused me the most distress, I guess teenage years up until 19, that's kind of when my switch happened, and I'll get to that later, was I was called different by everyone for so many reasons. And it was people's excuse for not hanging out with me or not inviting me to their birthday parties or why they didn't like me. It was oh yeah, Max, she's just different.
Huh.
And I never understood what the heck that meant.
Yeah, well, that's such an ambiguous term.
Well, I didn't do anything to anyone. And then it was just
Yeah.
like, I get 6 years old, you're like, oh yeah, everyone's invited to this birthday party except for you. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And I never got it. I never understood it. Really fucked with my head for a while. And I guess the biggest part of like dulling myself down was because of like a lot of, I hate just like labeling everything toxic, because I think people are just labeling poor behavior as toxic now.
But sometimes it is.
Yeah. And so, but I'm going to say it was like toxic friendships and stuff that really kind of impacted me on that.
Right.
Hanging out with the wrong people, or like giving people too many chances, and then like it affecting me, my mental state and self-esteem and everything.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I just felt awkward when I was feeling good or feeling proud of something. Like I felt like I couldn't be proud because everyone else around me wasn't happy.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
So it led to like a lot of like mental distress, and yeah.
Yeah.
It was
no
weird.
kidding.
What about you? Like, do you have any like...
I mean, I kind of relate to the whole like being different, but no one really told me that I was weird. It was just what I picked up from responses to my actions. Like, I would just get so excited about certain things, and just the way that people would respond to me getting excited about that would make me feel like, oh, like, I just can't get excited about that. Like, that's weird. And so then, like, even now, like, going on a date, or I got really excited when Gavin came to visit me at work. And I was on my break, and Claire came downstairs, and she was like, yeah, like, Gavin's here to visit you. And I was like, oh my gosh, yay. And so I just, like, jumped up and went to go see him. But I was like, I wouldn't do that if it was anyone else. Because I'd try to, like, play it cool. Like, oh, like, I'm not excited to see you.
Oh, that's something about dating life, too. Going on dates
Yeah.
and stuff. We'll get into a dating episode later, but, like...
Right? Because you don't want to scare them. That's what I was afraid. I was going to scare them off with my excitement.
Well, because there's so many games. Everyone likes to play these games and, like, act cool and put on a front. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
If I like you, I like you. I don't. And maybe that's where the whole different was coming from, right?
Yeah, you're very set. Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I grew up fairly secure in who I am. And only in the last little bit have I become kind of insecure in who I am, but trying to refine that security. And so being around a bunch of kids or my friends who aren't as secure was very difficult, because they would try and like do all these fun things, like, oh, I'm gonna go like flirt with this guy and like do this, do that. And I was like, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, I was never interested.
Do you think being homeschooled helped you with your security, or do you think it...
I think, yeah, probably, because I'm very easily influenced. So I feel like if I had, like, I don't know, been in public school and influenced by that, I would be very, very different than who I am today. But because I was only allowed to spend time with myself and my siblings, I kind of was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm a product of public school my entire life, and Jubes is a product of homeschooling to public high school.
Yep. What a transition.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so if I could just speak for once, that would be phenomenal. So yeah, definitely you would say that homeschooling as a kid helped you come with like your security about who you are as a person.
I think so, but I don't know that that's like a blanket statement. Is that the right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I don't know that that's the same for everyone. Like, I don't know that my brother and sister can say that.
Okay.
Or any other homeschool kids who were weird.
Yeah. That's the biggest, that's the stereotype too, right?
Right?
All homeschool kids are weird or socially awkward or whatnot, which
tracks.
Yeah.
But again, like, yeah, I just like would get excited. That's the biggest thing, is my excitement is what I dull down the most, because I don't want people to think I'm weird for being excited about
definitely
things.
Will say I have done that once or twice when it comes to dating too.
Yeah.
Because I don't like games. I don't care for it.
They're unnecessary.
Yeah, and so I reply right away, or reply when I see a message, or I say things straight up, and people are like, oh yeah, no, that's weird. Oh yeah, like I don't like that. But I should get it. Like, same thing, like you go out with friends, you go to a bar, and there's this whole like weird back and forth dance about like getting drinks from guys at clubs. I'm like, I got $20 in my pocket. Like, I don't need your money. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to buy me a drink, great. I'm not gonna.
Again, that's secure in yourself. Like, that's just, you don't need them to do that, which is a weird spot to be in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
But I'm talking about it hasn't always been like this, so that's the thing, because there were so many years where I would dull myself down, as we're talking about, to like make myself seem more depressed, or like I'm struggling, or I wouldn't try as hard in school and get a bad grade because some people I want like we're friends with had bad grades and stuff, right?
Right.
And then there was a lot of my friends who were like 90 students who would complain to me about getting an 89 on their math exam, and I'm like, okay, great, I got 52. Like,
yeah,
what do you want
I feel
from
like
me?
I was that person, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I almost failed my test, and I'm like, what'd you get? Like a 97.
Oh, it was the worst. That was the worst.
know, and I feel bad like complaining to my brother and sister who like struggled a bit more in high school, and I guess Crown didn't go to university, but they were just like, no, but the expectation level was so much not as high for them, I guess. Like, I don't want to say it was lower, it was just, I don't know, aligned with their abilities.
Okay, yeah.
But it was much higher for me.
Interesting. Is that because like your first child?
I think so. I blame everything on that.
Yeah.
All of my issues on me. It's because I'm the first child.
No, ditto. Maybe we'll get into that too.
Yeah.
Like
I think we should do a birth order episode.
Oh yeah, like definitely.
Yeah.
Because I fully believe I am the test dummy, and yet my sister still feels like she's the one who's like abandoned.
Yeah.
Which, her own things to work through and stuff, right? But no, I definitely want to do a birth order and get into that, because it's really
I think it would be very interesting.
intriguing too.
Right? It's just kind of fun, and I feel like a lot of people can relate. But okay, that's not this episode.
Squirrel.
Yeah, literally.
No, but like, yeah, so why can't we let other people shine?
It's, I don't know, like insecurity. Like, you're afraid that they're going to look better than you because you want what they have. And that was like when I was in public school, when I was young, I went for grade 1, grade 4, and a month of grade 5. And there were these girls who bullied me. And so they were the reason that I left like school, because I was like, I don't want to be around them.
Yeah.
But looking back on it now, they just wanted what I had, because they would even like one girl, she called me and she was like, hey, do you want to come to my birthday party? And I was like, I didn't think that you liked me, because you were so mean to me. But my mom was like, no, like, she's just jealous about your security and like who you are, and she wants what you have, your stability, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
This feels like I'm bragging about my privilege.
Which, I mean,
But, like,
in a way, yeah, maybe, because it's kind of how it goes, right? If you see someone, or you think, there's also the I think perception comes into play too, right? Because it might not be the case.
Yeah.
But someone might think that it's a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, I've been told that I gave off a lot of confidence, but for a lot of years, I did not have a lot of confidence.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And so people hated me because I'd just like walk into a room
yeah.
and like start talking to someone, but I'd be like panicking inside. Be like,
Yeah. No, and so yeah, it was really interesting, because I was like, okay, like, you're so mean to me, yet you still want to hang out with me, like, why?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was, she like wouldn't let me shine,
Yeah.
because she wanted to have that shine.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's so difficult. And like the ego plays such a big role into that too, right?
Definitely. Well, and especially in grade 4, like, we're very egocentric. Like, our worldview is us.
Yeah.
My favorite quote from myself is,
Not the ego quoting herself.
yeah. Oh my
Could
gosh.
it be me?
It's like, of course, or like, I have to be the center of the world or whatever, like, because I'm the center of my world, because I spend all the time with me.
Oh, that's
I'm
precious.
the center of my world. So of course, I need to be the center of attention. That's my rationalization for being selfish. But
but there's like, unpack that. There is actually some like a lot of truth to that, because you're the one spending all the time with yourself. So why should you be the least happy person in your life?
Amen. Like, that's it. Like, I spend all the time with me. I need to like who I am. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I'm going to be selfish.
And so what kind of self-work do you think it takes then for someone to get to that point? Because it's not an easy task. And I didn't feel that, like, true confidence until 19.
Yeah.
In Bali. Like, I was on a trip with a friend. And we were doing this, like, sunrise volcano hike. And at the top of the mountain, she blows up at me.
Yeah.
I think it was a mixture of like, oh yeah, we'd spent a lot of time together, a mixture of it being tired, hungry, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But she basically told me that I was ruining her trip and I was no fun and I was
my gosh.
like, I was killing the party and da 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 da.
Yeah.
All I did was walk up a mountain with her.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like so stunned. I'm like, where the heck is this coming from? And like it bred a lot of insecurity. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm gonna lose this friend now. And like it freaked me out, and it just threw me so off guard.
Well, no, that's such an intense thing.
It was, and you're in a foreign country with someone, and I was so mad. We were both so mad at each other. We talked about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But we were both like fully prepared to like figure out the last week of what we're gonna do, and then fly home like, but we're gonna have to sit beside each other on the same fucking flight because we had flights booked already and everything, right? But we were fully prepared to just like leave each other and whatnot.
Oh my goodness.
It was like that bad, or it felt that bad in the moment. But we took a day and we just did our own thing.
Yeah.
And that was the first time, like I remember, like I was walking into this restaurant in Ubud, and this fun little purple door thing, and I walked in and I sat down, and that was the first time in my life I was ever like fully okay with being alone.
Wow.
And it was such like a foundational piece for me of how I carried myself moving forward, because before that, like I would never be the one to like go into a restaurant and eat alone.
Yeah.
Never.
That's such a scary thought. Yeah.
Or I would just like, if I didn't have a friend, I just wouldn't go out and I wouldn't like do this. But I was like, no, I want to go here. I'm going to do that today. I'm on my own because we clearly need a break from each other.
Yep.
And that was like the only time I was like, actually like, I am totally fine with this.
That's so cool.
I am fully okay with this. And I really, really hope that whether it be this podcast or something else in your life, that I hope like everyone can kind of have that moment, because it's so freeing. You felt so light afterwards, because it's like I'm not depending on others for my happiness, my sense of worth.
And that's so huge. That's a very important thing, because I feel like I'm very like codependent. But in the sense where I just enjoy having people do things with me, because I find that more fun. I don't want to do things alone, but I can. And so like that kind of moment for me was probably 19 as well. Completely different situation. It was like one of the first days of university, and I was sitting in this huge lecture hall, and it was just like, oh my gosh, everyone here is exactly uncomfortable as me. Everyone here is so uncomfortable, doesn't want to be looked at, is so shy. So like, why do I care?
Yeah.
No one's looking at me because everyone's so concerned about themselves.
So you were fine with being like just like a number in the room.
Yeah. And so I was like,
nice.
Literally no one cares. And so from that moment on, I was like, everyone's as uncomfortable as me. It doesn't matter. And my extrovertedness came back.
That's so fun.
I know. It was so cool. And so then...
for those who missed episode 1, Jubes is now an extrovert according to Myers-Briggs. But no, for so many years, like she was kind of typed as introvert and self-proclaimed like introvert, and then I bounced back and forth between introvert and extrovert. But yeah, I was like very excited, and then even I think it was like last October, I just like drove up to Moraine Lake just by myself, and I was like, I don't need anyone to come with me because no one else. It's a random Tuesday. I was just like, I'm just gonna go, and it was so much fun. Yeah, I was listening to podcasts on the way there and on the way back, and I just was like, I got to take all the fun, silly photos, and I like took videos of me like posing. You can see it on my TikTok. It's real cringy, but it was just like a wholesome moment where I was like, yeah. And I think it was really important because at that point, I felt like I was really depending on Bryce. Yeah.
I couldn't do anything without him. I didn't want to do anything without him.
Well, I mean, that's fair too. But I mean, part of that, I think, for you would be you're moving to a new city.
Yeah.
You have no friends here.
Yeah, I was very new in my job. We weren't as close as we are now.
Yeah.
And so he was like my person, but he doesn't want to do all these things all the time.
Which mean, with how hard he works,
fair enough. Like, he's tired. And so I just like, I have to be okay doing things by myself. That doesn't mean that I'm alone.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's fun.
Yeah. It is. And so what's like a piece of advice that you would give to someone to like get to that point?
Just kind of like, I don't want to say like sit with yourself, but like sit with yourself and be like, hey, I like you, or I need to get to know you. Let's go do something that we enjoy as a person.
Yeah.
I feel like to kind of prioritize yourself and reaffirm your value and kind of do the things that bring you joy. Like make time for joy.
Yeah.
So that you can, and it doesn't have to be with someone. It can be by yourself, or it can be with a person, but make sure that they are someone who really truly loves you and isn't a person who's making you dull yourself down.
Yeah. That's true.
I feel like, but that's difficult. So I don't know. What about, do you have any advice?
Not to sound cliche, but like going with your gut, right? Because your intuition tells you more than you would like to admit.
Yeah.
I think that's why people, when they leave a bad situation, they're like, yeah, I knew this wasn't going to be good.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to admit it. Like, face that when it arises.
Yeah.
And it will save you a world of grief, right? Like
100%.
If you have this group of friends where you feel insecure and not just about yourself, but like insecure in the friendships, right? Like, am I going to be invited? Or if you're feeling anxious or dependent, maybe walk away from that before it has
100%.
And yeah, there's lessons that come from that, right? Because I mean, I had it too. Like in 10th grade, so in junior high, I was friends with this group of people, but they were all very heavy people to be around, and I just couldn't relate to them anymore.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need to let them go. I wish them well, kind of thing. But then I was looking for, I guess, a new group. Right. Because at this time, again, very dependent on people and having friends and doing stuff with people. And so I became friends with this group of girls that turned out not to be the most nice to me at that time. Yeah. Particular event. I was supposed to meet up with them to like go to a party, and one of the girls was like, yeah, no one replied to Michaela because she's different.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. And so I was like texting the couple that I had numbers for, and I was like, hey, like, when are we meeting? Like, I can come pick you guys up, whatever, because I always DD'd. Nothing. Radio silence.
What the actual fuck?
Radio silence.
That makes me... How can you as a person do that?
Yeah. And the girl who did that, I was giving her advice on this guy because I was friends with him coming out of junior high school. And so I helped her get her boyfriend, and then that was what I got in return. I'm like, great.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah. So that, again, really left a sore spot. Like, salt in the wound, right?
Oh my, that's despicable.
And so I became so angry, but it happens. It's more common than you think. Like, yeah. I mean, if you guys want to share, like, I want to hear your stories about this stuff, because it is so nasty. And I'm like, why do we feel the need to be so bitter? Like, I guess that's kind of why, like, part of the motivation for kind of talking about this, right? Is like, to know that it happens to everyone, but it shouldn't have to.
No, definitely not.
Like, you don't got to be an asshole. If you don't like me, just say that. It sucks for a moment, but it sucks a lot less than
having a fake friend who stabs you in your back. Yeah. That reminded me of a story when I was, I don't know, again in elementary school, and I was hanging out with the girls who were mean to me because I thought they were cool. And there was this new girl that came to school, and they were like, yeah, we don't like her. And I was like, okay, we don't like her. And so we went on a class trip, or like a walk just around the town. And they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to write a note that says, we don't like you. Oh, and then we're going to drop it. And she's going to pick it up and read it and feel bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, genius. I love that. Okay, let's go. And so then I was in charge of dropping the note. And so I like dropped it. And then she didn't pick it up, and I didn't want to litter, so then I went and picked it up. And then I started, like, talking to her. And she's the coolest person ever. And so I just, like, talked to her because she made me feel like she was genuine.
Yeah.
And she wasn't someone who was sucking the life out of me, and it was nice, and we became, like, really good friends. And so I told her, I was like, hey, like, this is what we were doing. It was totally shitty, and I'm very sorry. Like, that's not cool at all.
Yeah.
And then we just became good friends.
I love how you found that out because you didn't want to litter.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to leave that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, and I was like, what should I do? And they're like, well, go pick it up, and then you can, like, drop it again. I was like, what? The minds of...
It's like, yeah, it's a shitty thing that you did that, but I love that, like, it's such a journey kind of piece that you didn't want to litter, really, so you became friends with the girl.
Yeah. So that's
such a journey thing.
That's my story of being not a very nice person, but, like, I still couldn't do it.
Yeah. But I think there's something to do, like, I mean, something to do that as well, because holding hate, and my mom always said this growing up, but, like, having hate or holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much truth to that with, like, dulling yourself down as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you're accepting someone's hate, you're only going to hurt yourself more, right?
Yeah.
And then in turn hold grudges towards the person that you, or whatever. It's just a vicious cycle. And so and for me, it kind of manifested in a lot of depression, a lot of weight gain, and poor decisions, like self-destructive behaviors.
Right, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, well, I'm just different.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it really struck a sore spot with me.
Definitely.
But I don't think that's like anyone else. I think whenever you're not being authentically you, as cliche as that term is,
but like, again,
like, it manifests, like, you can feel it, right? And same thing, like, when I say trust your gut, like, you can feel when someone's off. You can feel
100%.
When that stranger on the subway is no good, you get off.
Yeah.
Right? Or you figure out.
Well, even, like, manifestation. You can manifest good and you can manifest bad. Mm-hmm. If you're manifesting that you hate yourself, you're gonna hate yourself. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying everyone needs to love themselves, but even being neutral with yourself is so... It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. You do become a product of the 5 people you hang around the most, right? And so if the people you're hanging around the most are super negative and super toxic and bombarding and heavy, and you just can't relate to it, then find yourself new friends. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary feeling like you're alone. But it's necessary in that situation, just because moving forward, it'll be so much better.
Yeah, because you can get that support system who can help you, like, I don't know, like, relearn yourself.
Yeah. And I don't want to be super cheesy when it comes to, like, this next part or whatever, but it's like...
I don't know what you're going to say. I'm very interested.
It's not even funny.
Oh, good. Okay.
Why am I laughing? It's not even funny.
I don't know. This feels like kind of an intense topic for you, so you're going to get just a little giggly. Just to make it a little less yikes.
Coming out. Oh, God. That was a weird laughing fit.
We love the nervous giggles. We're here for them.
No, but it feels so cheesy to say, like, social media is a part of it, but I can see it with so many people, especially younger than me, because... I feel like I grew up with social media, so it didn't impact me as heavy because all of the weird social media trends were happening when I was a weird kid. It wasn't weird at the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we can all, like, there's a collective group of people that I find that can look back on the Vine days and the early YouTube days and be like singing the Amazing Horse song and stuff like that. Weird, but we were all weird.
Yeah.
But now there's so much pressure with have 15-year-olds looking like 25.
100%. They don't have that awkward phase.
Not in the same way.
No.
At all. Like, they might be like, oh my God, that was so cringe. But I'm like, but not.
I'm
like,
still not that pretty. Yeah. I'm still not that put together.
Yeah. And I can see it with some of my cousins, like, that are younger than me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted, like, I become so intense because I just want to, like, shake them. I just want to be like, you don't need to do this.
Yeah.
But it's comes from a place of passion because I have that sore spot
Right.
from it.
Yeah. Well, no, and it's the thing, like, hindsight's 2020. So, like, like, hey, you don't need to do that. You can feel like you'll get to this point where you're past all that bullshit. But they don't know that. They can't see that. And so it's very difficult to watch them have to go through that in order to get to the other side. I feel like I'm just talking in cliches this whole episode.
That's what I mean. I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, how can we have this conversation without sounding like a cheese ball?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it like ties back to your authentic self. Like, you need to sit with uncomfortability. That's
discomfort.
Shut up, Michaela. You need to sit and you need to be uncomfortable. Like me right now.
I'm uncomfy.
In order to like grow. Because I was uncomfortable in that classroom and then I was like, wait, everyone else is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so then obviously it's not that much of a light bulb for everyone else and it takes a lot of work, but that's, I don't know, it's hard work, but I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Am I comfy?
And this is where Journey dulls herself down.
Am I comfy? The spotlight's on me.
Love that.
Excuse that voice.
That's okay.
Yeah, just learn to live with yourself and try to kind of reframe your mind that others' insecurities aren't your responsibility. And so don't take them on as I need to lower myself, or I need to think less of myself in order to make them feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Same in relationships, same in friendships, because that's where I think a lot of toxic relationships come from too, right? The whole people-pleasing side of things.
Well, and I feel like if you're in those relationships and you find that you can't be yourself, you don't want to be friends with those people.
And it feels so lonely in the moment, but you really don't.
They're not nice.
No.
They're not good for you.
It's not a growth mindset when it comes into that, right?
Yeah.
And this might be, I don't know, a product of capitalism or whatever. But I feel like you should always be growing and changing. I feel like
you have to.
Yeah. With every year, there should be a different change, a different progression, growth, whatever it is. Yeah. It doesn't have to be big. It can be like, oh yeah, like I learned 2 chords on the guitar, but that's
more growth than I knew yesterday.
That's something that if you want, like intrinsically, to achieve and to do and to learn, and it's all, I think that's like the most important thing to kind of come to terms with as early on as possible in order for the most success later on.
And another piece of that, Bryce and I were talking about the grind set last night.
The hustle.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's toxic. And he's like, yeah, whatever. But he was like, there's only so much you can achieve or like appreciate and value kind of in each day. Yeah. Or improve. That's what I'm looking for. So if at the end of the day you feel like, oh, like I didn't get my whole to-do list done, I didn't do this, I only learned half a chord on the guitar. Yeah. It's still more than yesterday. Maybe that's all that you could improve that day. Yeah. So try again tomorrow. Maybe you'll learn the next half and then boom, 1 chord. Yes, it maybe took 2 days, but that's okay. Yeah. So it's important to know, like, and also don't measure your success against other people. That's another huge one. I feel like where a lot of dulling yourself down is you need to compare yourself to you. Am I better than the person I was yesterday? Yeah. You're your own competition and whatnot, right? Strive to always be doing better than yourself. That's something I'm learning hardcore. Yeah. I now know how to live with myself. I can like my body. I'm great. I like my face. I like where I'm at physically. But the comparison complex is definitely something I'm struggling with hard right now. Yeah. Because I have so many friends or so many people in my life that I see as like achieving really great things right now. Right. And even just being quote unquote adults. Yeah. Like I always say like, oh yeah, I don't have an adult job. Yeah. But that's such a poor, like a negative Any phrase. Job is an adult job. Right? Am I 18 you're an plus? Adult working a job. Exactly. Yeah. But for me, in my mindset, and I don't know why this like kind of comes from, but
I am judging myself for working in a coffee shop right now.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way.
I'm doing so many other things and with my time that I'm busy. Like, I'm still a student.
Right.
I forget that I'm still a student.
I forget that you're still a student.
Yeah. Well, then we're working on this, and then I'm working out, and I'm trying to like keep myself afloat and make sure that my bed sheets are clean and that I'm making good food for myself.
Yeah.
But I'm also have so much pressure for myself that I'm dulling myself down.
Right.
But not in the way of like my shine, in the way of like I am burnt out as hell.
Yeah.
I've got nothing left to give. My knuckles are round.
I can't.
They're grinded right down there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where I was going to go with that. I lost my train of thought fully.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, I was thinking about how I watched you lose your train of thought, and then I lost my train of thought.
Friends who lose their train of thoughts together stay together.
Yeah.
And on that note, to make this a little bit happier, we're going to do a segment of some funny bad advice.
Yeah.
And we're going to call it Funny Bad Advice.
We're original.
You remember when I said my creativity is thriving right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
No, I can't.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Okay, so we're going to start it off really strong. With, if you're being chased, give the person who's chasing you a pair of scissors, because you can't run with scissors.
That's smart.
I know.
That's very
That's
smart.
my favorite piece of advice.
For extra cash, consider robbing sex offenders. Their address is easy to find, and they can't own guns.
That's terrible. Oh my god.
So bad. We just Googled this on the internet. These are just random internet ones, okay?
If you break your bone in 2 places, don't go to those places again.
Pro tip. To drain all the oil, squeeze the car real good.
Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wait.
These are so bad. Shitty pro-life tip. Shit on your garden. It's free fertilizer.
Okay. I just pictured someone with like those like grow your own herb things you can buy from IKEA in their kitchen.
Oh. No.
Just like squatting like a dog.
I just think of me, myself, and Irene. If you know, you know. It's one of Jim Carrey's best roles.
No.
That was the face of I have no idea.
That's
what
really
the heck
funny,
that was.
Michaela. So anyway,
Meme that face. Journey's like side eye.
yeah. If you bury a body, cover it with endangered plants, so it will be illegal for anybody to dig it up.
There you go.
But it also tells them that that's where the body's buried. So like,
Well, if you know that's your MO, then
yeah. And that's also one of the huge signs for like knowing where a body's buried is like, is the vegetation different than the surrounding area?
so take dead body to wherever.
To an endangered plant space, dig it up, bury the body. They can't dig it back up because that's illegal. And then if you get caught, like you literally killed someone. So why are you worried about digging up endangered plants? Life advice from Journey. I'm here all week.
I like this one. A lion will never eat grass, no matter how hungry it is. Be like a lion. Never lower your standards because of hunger.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I just want to know how people come up with this shit.
Right?
It's so funny.
You'd be surprised how quickly employees at Lowe's assist you after ignoring you for 20 minutes when you try and start a chainsaw.
If you're being chased by an animal, just lay on the ground for 5 seconds. The 5-second rule will prevent the animal from eating you.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, no, that's foolproof.
Science. Can't run a human underneath the tap to rinse it off.
Carry a fork with you. If someone tries to rob you, pull the fork out of your pocket and say, "Thank you, Lord, for this meal I'm about to have," and then charge at them with a fork. Because self-defense weapons are illegal in Canada, so boom, you have a fork.
find that so dumb, especially
Yeah,
with
that's-
how many people are getting like attacked.
It's very stupid.
Tired of being alone? Buy a Ouija board and summon some friends.
Don't play with Ouija boards.
That's one thing. Really, really freaking out. Oh my god, this one's so bad. Have trouble sleeping? Roofie yourself in the comfort of your own home. No! So bad.
Okay, we need one more. We're not ending on a roofie yourself.
Leave us on a high note, Jubes.
Okay, good moms let you lick the beaters. Great moms, turn them off first. Oh my goodness, okay. So a lady came into the coffee shop and she had the shirt that says, good moms say bad words. Mm-hmm. But she looked like the most like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like, she'd be too shy to say a bad word. Mm. And so it was so funny because I was like, do you swear though? She would probably look like me as a mom.
Like, I say fuck sometimes. What's your favorite
swear word?
Probably fuck.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was like, I'm sorry, lady, I'm laughing a little. But it didn't suit her. And the shirt was like bright pink and bad was in blue and the rest of the words were white. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're cool beans.
That's really good. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for tuning in to our shortest episode because we ran out of cliches to feed you.
We'll see you next week.
If you can relate to any of this, let us know.
Please.
If this was garbage,
don't let us know. If this was helpful, let us know.
If this was garbage, just type in the comments this was garbage and give us a thumbs up because we want to get better.
It's a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Boom. There you are. I'm Mak Joy.
And it's _Jubes.
And we are sometimes Ciabatta Slaps on Instagram, TikTok, our website,
YouTube.
All platforms.
That's all we have for right now.
Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll see you next week.
Have a great day.
Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye.